How's it going, YouTube? This is James from eSports Hero, and I'm excited to do this video today for you. It's one I've been meaning to do for quite some time now, and that's a top 10 list for the most broken cards in Hearthstone, in my opinion. Now, a little disclaimer before I get started, because this is kind of an opinion piece, and I know it might incite some rage and controversy, but it's all food for thought, and my selections here are just based on my experiences playing this game for the past year, and they're cards that are not necessarily overpowered or imbalanced, but cards that detract from the overall health of the game as an esport and potentially need to be revisited. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. First card on the list is the infamous Innervate. Innervate is a 0-mana druid spell, and it gives you 2 mana crystals the turn you use it only. So if you play it on turn 1, you effectively have 3 mana. If you play it on turn 2, you effectively have 4. Now, one Innervate in your hand can already kind of break the game. You can get out Shades early, you can get out, the list goes on, but one Innervate already provides insane, potentially game-breaking value. 2 breaks the game outright, no question in my mind. So potential scenarios include double Innervating a Dr. Boom on turn 3. That happened to Savitz in a recent tournament, very heartbreaking to watch, and he ended up losing that series. And also playing around double combo. So a lot of these cards, the reason why they are broken in my opinion is they're unreasonably difficult to play around, and it prevents you from playing with a reasonable degree of prophylaxis. Prophylaxis is a chess term I learned years ago, and in the context of Hearthstone it means countering threats or lines of play before they happen, e.g. prevention. So it's unreasonable to play around double Savage Roar combo when you're playing against Druid. That's why pros don't even do it, because it's so unreasonable to assume they have that huge wombo combo in their hand. So that's in my mind why it's broken. Gonna just, in the interest of time, move on to the next one here. Should probably speed it up a little bit. The second card is Unstable Portal. True to its name, it's way too unstable, too much RNG and luck involved. You get a random minion from the entire hundred of minion pool in Hearthstone, and that minion costs 3 less. This card can single-handedly make or break games. It's frustrating to play against because they can get a Tyrion or a Cenarius, and play it for 5 mana. But it's also frustrating to play with because you can play it and get a Wisp, and then it kind of screws you over. So I don't know what else I can say about this. It's too unstable of a card and detracts from the spirit of the game. Third choice is a rogue card. Oh, I disenchanted it recently, so I'm just going to crafting mode here. Is Preparation. For many of the same reasons why Innervate is so frustrating to play against, Preparation meets that same criteria. It's an X Factor card that you can play around, but it's very difficult to do so reasonably. And we've all been getting trauma from this card for months now, ever since Shadow Stepping Leroy's and Conceals and the whole old Miracle Rogue archetype. This card sort of needs to be revisited in my mind. So the fourth card here is a neutral mech. Need I say more? You probably already know what I'm about to say. Mechwarper. This card provides insane value. It's already very good because it's a 2-mana 2/3 mech. Very solid body, but it has an insane ability. It's a static ability that continues throughout its entire existence on the board, and it makes your mechs cost 1 less. So on turn 1, you can coin it out and play 2 Clockwork Gnomes. Turn 2, play another one, dump your entire hand, and you get too far ahead on the board too fast and very frustrating to play against. So that's the number 3 pick here, or number 4 pick rather. Moving on to the number 5 pick, Dr. Balanced. You guys know what I'm about to say. Dr. Boom here. Blizzard has officially stated that they have no plans of changing this card. They believe in its balance, and that was a bit disappointing for me. The reason why I find it so frustrating and broken is there's really no card aside from maybe Light Bomb that can trade effectively with it and go 1-for-1 with it. And even Light Bomb, which is the pre-spell that makes all minions deal their attack to their toughness, you still take Boombot damage. So it's a card, even if you BGH it, which is sometimes best case scenario, it's still not, it's still not a great answer. So Dr. Boom is the number 5 pick. Number 6 pick is Mad Scientist. I've been very frustrated with this card ever since its release in Noxuramas. I'm going to explain to you what I feel it does in my mind, and it's kind of a quote. This is kind of quoting a stream that I heard a while ago, but I think it sort of summarizes it well. So, if you could play less than 30 cards in a deck, you would, because it gives you a more consistent deck, a more streamlined strategy, and that's sort of why cards like Tracking are really great, because not only do you select the right card for the right need, but you also discard the other cards so you know what's left in your deck. The Mad Scientist is a solid body. It's not on par for its mana cost, but it still trades up pretty effectively, and its Death Rattle draws a card, develops it, and allows you to play your deck with a smaller pool of cards so you know what you're going to draw. And what you're developing is either a 2-mana card like a Freezing Trap, which can run away with the game and give you insane tempo, or it can be a 3-mana card, so it can kind of ramp you 3 mana and develop that card in terms of Mirror Entity or an Ice Block or something. So Mad Scientist, very frustrating. Number 7 on the list is Imp-losion. I'm going to pull it up here. Imp-losion, it is a lot of RNG involved with it. It deals between 2 and 4 damage to a minion. When it rolls low, it's very frustrating to play with. When it rolls high, it's very frustrating to play against. It seems unnecessary, and it also not only deals with the board, but it develops a massive board in response. And it does so much for its cost, and it's very frustrating to play against when it rolls high. So that's the number 7 pick. Number 8 is a mage card, Goblin Blastmage. This card is like a fire elemental on crack. It's 4 mana 5/4, so the body is very solid. And it does 4 damage randomly split among all enemies. And in my mind, that's better than targeting 3 damage oftentimes. And sort of in the current meta, it's kind of proven to be so. You can destroy all types of tokens, Muster for Battle tokens, and if you can even potentially kill an Azure Drake with it when it comes down. Think about that, a 4 mana 5/4 that kills your opponent's Azure Drake. It's unlikely, but when it does happen, it can kind of just break the game. So that's the number 8 pick. Number 9 is a Warlock card, Power Overwhelming. This card has been around forever, but I've always been frustrated with it. In my mind, this is Soulfire 2.0, and it's a card, when coupled with Implosion, can provide insane value. You can just use a tiny 1/1 token, Power Overwhelming, and clear out a Belcher. It also provides insane burst. You can couple it with charged minions to do crazy burst. Use it for a Shadow Flame. The card is difficult to play around and potentially needs to be revisited. Last card on the list is, let's me typing it in here, Muster for Battle, Paladin card. You summon 3 1/1 Silverhand Recruits, so the dude tokens. So you're getting 3 mana for 3/3 worth of power and toughness, but you also have 4 damage that you can distribute as you please through your weapon, and that's really good for Paladins because their hero power doesn't affect the state of the board. But the icing on the cake that really brings that card to the next level of broken in my mind is the potential threat of Quartermaster. Not only when you play this, does it provide just very solid value, its potential to couple with Quartermaster is just such a huge threat, and you can get punished so hard if you don't deal with the minions right away. So these are my picks for the top 10 cards. It's kind of brief, but I want to keep the video short so I don't take up too much of your time. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below if this is something you'd like to see more, or what you guys would like to see in general. Let's open up a dialogue, a discussion. Thank you so much for watching. This is James from eSports Hero, signing out. Have a good one.